Hi, this is DeFi E250, also known as DeFi, and I'm going to show you some more Rose Cup practice matches. In my last video, I showed you some rounds from a little mini practice tournament we did in the Zyonik Discord server, and we actually did an entire another tournament that same day, and I have my 3 rounds from that tournament as well. I actually decided to pull Vileplume, and I wanted to try using the double tank strategy instead, so I put Steelix in. My first opponent is Pavlovian Test, and I led Probopass into Sableye. Sableye is something I really want to add to my team. I just don't have a really good IV one that's powered up for Great League yet. So I switch in, and now we're both switched into Wigglytuff versus Machamp, and we already know Wigglytuff can do some work versus a Machamp. I was really bummed that I wasn't quite able to get to a charge move, but this gave me an opportunity to pull in Alolan Marowak. I had to shield that Rock Slide, that would have really hurt otherwise, and I'm able to launch off a Bone Club here, which gets shielded. So we're both down to 1 shield each. I can get 1 more Bone Club, which I'm hoping is either going to do some damage or get a shield, and it does the damage, but I have to use another shield if I want to keep Marowak alive, and I wasn't quite able to get into Probopass, unfortunately. So I just start launching Rock Slides. I get that last shield finally, but he's able to launch a Foul Play and almost take me out. I do get to 1 more Rock Slide, but it's just not going to be enough. And he's able to just farm me down. And that's GG on the first match. I really want to add a Sableye. Every time I see it in battle, I think that I would really love having one of those creepy little demons on my team. So this time I lead Gliscor into Machamp. This is a positive matchup for me because my fast move is going to be doing a lot of work. I decide to shield to keep my Gliscor up at full health, and he stays in, so I go for a Night Slash, and I'm thinking maybe I'll get the boost, or at least get a shield. I do get a shield, no boost this time, and he's still in there, so I go for another Night Slash, and maybe I'll get the boost, and I get the boost, which is super exciting. You can see my Gliscor even does a little dance there. So I'm able to fade that Machamp down, and now I have a Gliscor with the boost. I'm able to build up to an Earthquake, and since we have no shields, I know this is going to go unguarded, and that just completely KOs the Probopass. I'm even able to get to another Night Slash and boost it up. This is going to do a little bit more damage, which was super awesome. So I have 2 healthy Pokemon coming in, and nothing that Sableye has is going to knock out my Wigglytuff, and I'm able to just fade it down. So that match felt really good, so I'm feeling confident going into this, but it's going to go to Pavlovian Test in the end, but it was a really fun match. So here we have the last match of our first round, and I'm going to lead my Gliscor into Charizard, and I'm actually going to pull Gliscor because I know Blast Burn would really hurt. Probopass is a great hard counter to Charizard, and he brings in a Probopass of his own. I had already launched this Rock Slide, and his Probopass takes that one. However, I end up using another Rock Slide. I should have went for Magnet Bomb here, and I do proceed to go to first straight Magnet Bombs from here on out. So I'm able to hit this next Magnet Bomb, and I'm starting to think, what can I do? Are we just going to do Probopass until one of us dies? So I decide to shield, keep my Probopass at decent health, and I bring in Wigglytuff to fade down this Probopass. He's not quite able to get to another Magnet Bomb. And then we have Skarmory, and I'm just trying to get to an Ice Beam because I know that'll do at least a little bit of damage, or I get a shield, which a shield is really good here as well. I let Wigglytuff go down, and then I bring in my Probopass that has all that loaded up energy. I'm hoping this Rock Slide will get a shield, or it's going to take a chunk of Skarmory. It doesn't get the shield, so I decide I'm going to shield. I'm going to try to get to another one of those Rock Slides. And he brings in Charizard, and with no shields remaining, he's going to be very quickly able to take me out with just a Dragon Claw. I wasn't able to launch that Rock Slide, which was a big bummer. And Blast Burn, I know, takes out a really big chunk of my health. I am able to get to 1 more charge move, but that just draws his last shield, and he easily wipes me out. And that goes into my next round, so congratulations. Thanks for the matches, Pavlovian Test. And for the second round, I'm up against Mega Batman, who's all the way in Guam. They're so much fun to battle against. Something that's really going to help my Probopass here is that I TM'd over to Spark from my matches in the morning. So I'm able to just knock these charge moves out. So right now it's tank versus tank and we're just exchanging magnet bombs. But here he's going to use this opportunity to switch into Charizard, and I'm already at Rock Slide by the time he brings Charizard into the battle. He shields it, and I know I'm going to be able to get to another one. So I decide to shield the Dragon Claw and go for another Rock Slide, which gets shielded again. And I decide to double down and go all in on my Probopass. He unleashes his Blast Burn and I'm able to get to a Rock Slide, which I know is going to knock him out, and I'm left at pretty low health. So I decide to stay in against this Probopass. I know I'm going to be able to get to charge moves pretty quickly because I have Spark as my fast move. So we have a little bit of lag for just a moment, but I am able to get to one more Magnet Bomb and take the Probopass out. So now I can use my Gliscor against his Wigglytuff. I'm going to try to get up to an Earthquake, which I am able to, and I know that Earthquake is not super effective, but it is definitely a powerful move, and it's going to take out Wiggles. So then we go into the second match of this round, and I decide to lead my Alolan Marowak, and he brings in Rhyperior. Rhyperior is a Pokemon I am still very interested in. I think I'm just going to wait until after Community Day to grab one and power one up. I'm hoping to get a shield with this Bone Club, but Rhyperior absorbs that hit, and I have to shield because Surf I know is going to knock me out. I want to try to get to one more Bone Club to at least try to get one of his shields out, and I do before my Marowak goes down. So then I bring in Gliscor, and I know I have to shield because I know Surf is going to do a ton of damage. And here's where I just start going for Night Slashes. I'm really hoping to at least get in 2 before he gets to a Blast Burn, and I'm right there, but the tie goes to Mega Batman, and he knocks me out with that Blast Burn. Then I have Probopass, and I am able to get to a bunch of energy. I have my charge moves ready. I'm able to take that Charizard out, but he still has a shield, and he has a Machamp. So I'm done. And that Machamp knocks me out. So then, for the very last match of this round, I decide to lead my Charizard, but it turns out that Mega Batman is thinking the same and leads a Charizard as well. So my first thought is I'm going to try to either get a shield or do some damage with that Dragon Claw, and I am able to get there and draw a shield. But then he's able to get a shield of my own, because I know Blast Burn would do quite a bit of damage as well. And he goes into Probopass, and before I can either launch the Blast Burn or switch, my Charizard goes down. So now I have this Steelix, and I know that Probopass can launch whatever charge move it wants at me. It's only really gonna tickle the Steelix. So I go for a Crunch thinking maybe he's gonna shield it. He doesn't, so then I just build up to an Earthquake to be able to knock the Probopass out. But then I have a lot of problems, because after I knock the Probopass out, he's going to bring in a Machamp, and Machamp is going to just start decimating my Steelix. So I pull in my Gliscor, and I have to use a shield to keep it at a good amount of health. And then he brings in that Charizard, and I am able to get to one Night Slash, but it's not going to be enough. And before I can get to another one, he's able to launch a Blast Burn and completely knock me out. Steelix fades that down, and I am able to get to a Crunch, but that just draws his last shield. And those games go to Mega Batman. Thanks for the games. And now we go into my matches against El Guapo Mark. This is the first 3-0 round that I have the entire day. And here we're just in an Alolan Marowak mirror match. Say that 3 times fast. So this matchup depends on a lot of shield baiting and trying to get to build up to a Shadow Ball, launch a Bone Club, see if the other person shields. My goal here is going to be to get the Alolan Marowak down to just enough health where I can pull my own Alolan Marowak out and just use his Alolan Marowak as energy and fade it down. You're going to see that that's not going to quite work out for me, and I decide to let my Alolan Marowak go, and I'm hoping that I can just fade down his Alolan Marowak before it gets to another charge moves. It gets to another move, but it's only a Bone Club. It's not really going to affect me much, and now my Gliscor has some built up energy. Now I have that Rhyperior, and I have Earthquake ready to go already. So I hit the Earthquake, it knocks out Rhyperior in one hit, and then we have Medicham. And this is when I realize I'm in a bit of trouble because I have Gliscor and Probopass in the back. So my only hope is to knock out this Medicham, and I go for a Night Slash. In retrospect, I should have just built up to the Earthquake because the Earthquake would have done a lot more damage. So now I have a Probopass, but thankfully because I TM'd over to Spark, I'm able to get to this Rock Slide really, really quickly. Having the correct fast move on my Probopass definitely won me that match. So we start the next match of the round, and it's going to start in a really familiar way. We have another Alolan Marowak mirror match. So I decide to build up to Shadow Ball, launch a Bone Club. I'm hoping for the shield. I don't get it. The Bone Club goes through instead, and I shield once, knowing that that could full well be a Shadow Ball. It's not. And I go for the Shadow Ball myself, knowing that Bone Club's not going to quite knock it out, but he shields it. I let this charge move go through, and I just commit to not shielding my Alolan Marowak anymore because I want to save shields for the Pokemon I have in the back. I go for one more Bone Club, and I think I'm going to knock it out, but he ends up shielding it. I figure this next move is probably only a Bone Club, so I let it come through, and that's all it was. And I'm able to fade down his Alolan Marowak. And then he brings in Rhyperior, and I'm excited. I'm going to get to this Earthquake, but he brings in Medicham instead. So the Earthquake gets launched on Medicham, and I shield knowing that this is probably an Ice Punch. It is, and that Ice Punch would have definitely hurt. I'm able to fade the Medicham down, and then I have enough energy built up that I'm able to Earthquake the Rhyperior again. And then we have one more match this round, and I decide to vary my lineup a little bit. I bring my Steelix in, and I know that Steelix with Dragon Tail has a pretty positive matchup against Alolan Marowak. He bails out into Rhyperior, but I have enough energy for an Earthquake, and that Earthquake goes unshielded and knocks Rhyperior out. He brings in Medicham, so I build up a little bit of energy before switching into Gliscor. I decide I want to shield the Ice Punch at least the first time because it would do a ton of damage to Gliscor. I let the next one come through, and it is definitely super effective, but I'm hoping I can scare him that I have enough energy for an Earthquake to get a shield or two. So I get one Night Slash in, and then I go for another. No boosts for me, but I am able to put quite a bit of damage into his Medicham before that last Ice Punch knocks it out. I decide to bring in Steelix, and I shield because I'm not sure if this could be a Dynamic Punch or not. It was only an Ice Punch, but it gave me enough time to launch a Crunch. And now all he's got left is that Alolan Marowak from the beginning of the battle. So he launches a Bone Club to clear out my Steelix, but then I have Probopass here at full health, and I'm rocking that Spark. So I have Rock Slide, and since he has no shields left, I'm able to hit a Rock Slide and almost take Marowak out. And because I have that Spark as my fast move, I'm able to get to an entire another Rock Slide. After a little bit of lag, it does go through, and I take the last match. GG's El Guapo Mark. Thanks again to Zyonik and everyone in the Zyonik Battlers Discord for the matches, especially the people I battled today. I had a really fun time. I'm continuing to learn more and try to sort out my team. Hopefully sometime soon I'll get a Sableye of my own, and then after Community Day I can put a Rhyperior on my team and see how that pans out with the meta shakeup. Thank you so much for watching, and best wishes!